Hi, in our last video, we looked at how to complete the right-hand column of Cornell notes and what to include in that side. We learned that we want to include details, facts, ideas, definitions, dates, and concepts that we could capture as we listen to the speaker. Remember that the Cornell notes that we take on the right side of our column should be brief. They should not be a representation of every single word that the speaker says. When we have all the words that a speaker says, that's called a transcript. That's the word-for-word representation of what the speaker states. But what we want on the right-hand side are important concepts. Also, the notes that we take in the right-hand column should be in the same order in which you hear them. So if you're listening to a lecture and the speaker has 3 points, then your notes should represent those 3 points in the same order in which the speaker presents them. What you need to do is you need to review the notes you've written on the right-hand column of your Cornell notes. And you can circle, highlight, underline, or just pay attention to the most salient or the most important points. And then what you want to do is you want to pull that information over into the left-hand side. So I have an example of the notes that we took in the last video on the right side here. And I am going to pull in what I think is the most important information. I'm going to pull it over to the left. So on the left here, I will write Machova loves languages. And I also think it's very important that she talked about the conference or meeting place for polyglots. So I'll write down here, polyglot conference. And I'm going to pull it up a little bit more. There we go. Do you see how the information that I'm writing on the left side corresponds to the information on the right? So it's lined up. I don't want to have my keyword up here and then the information down here. I want to have the keyword that I pull to the left side, I want it matching with the more detailed information on the right side. Then I'm going to write down here, I'll add Benny speaks from day one. I think that was the most important point. And then when we talked about Lucas, we talked more about how he uses technology. Lucas uses tech. Okay, so just to reiterate, you want to look at the details on the right side and you want to pull the most important words or facts over to the left. Another way to think of this is reducing. So you want to take the information that's on the right side and you want to reduce it to maybe one word or one phrase that you could pull over into the left. You can also think of these new words on the left side as cues, words that will spark your memory, words that you can look at later and study and think, oh, the cue is polyglot. What's all the information that I remember about a polyglot? Another thing that you can do is in your left-hand column, you could write a question that could be answered with the information on the right side. So you can use the question later as a type of study strategy to try to remember the more detailed information that you had written on the right side of your Cornell notes. So in conclusion, creating the left-hand side of the Cornell notes is a way for you to actively engage with the information on the right-hand side and process it. And it's also a way for you to create a study guide that you could refer to throughout the course of the semester. Thank you so much. See you next time.